Good afternoon, folks. It's the 7th of September 2024. You're with Edward here in Paw Township, Prospect Hill Cemetery. Go in here and take a little look. It's an old cemetery. I've not been here. 1825. Owned and operated by Paw Township. Let's go up here and take a little look. Very interesting. A nice old pitcher pump. Still operates so people can draw water for watering their flowers here. I really like the way that this older part here, the newer part's out here by the road, but the older part here is in the hills. And because of the hilly topography, families, well, they put nice little foundations around their family plots. Keep from the hill eroding over the years. It's done just that down here as well. A lot of individual family plots. I don't see that very often. A lot of veterans here. Being a little windy today, you can see the flags all blowing very nicely. The hill here as well. All right, take a little drive back up in here. Some mausoleums I see. Be right back. Every old cemetery that I visit, I just have to stop every so often and take video and some stills, because they all just have their own nature about them. I always wondered where this fellow was laid to rest. Now we know, if you didn't before. And right over here behind him is another member. Only a name. Be right back. Walk up here into the shade. There's the Selleck's. Interesting little headstone right here. Lottie L., daughter of O.F. and M.P. Archer. She died April 18th of 1868, aged 2 years. Yep. Mother and father right there. Their obelisk. It's a Selleck family. Certainly Civil War era. And right there. Wanted to come up here and take a look at the orb, and there's some woodsmen of the world up here. Look at these guys, huh? The Hendricks. They have their little headstones here. Their family looks like a rope almost. It's wrapped around with a nice little entrance, and you come in. We have I don't see any writing. There was. It's just, you just can't see it. Over here though, I think it says it all. You have the Oddfellows rings. And you have some woodwork. See the wood? Looks like logs. It's not quite all the way woodsman, but it is Masonic. T.E. Hendrick died January 13th, 1872, aged 58 years at Rust. And Elvira C., wife of T.E. Hendrick, died December 4th, 1804, aged 90 years. Very nice. Very, very nice. Down here a ways, there is a woodsman of the world. Take a look at this. There's the bales. Father and mother. Billsboro. Well, there's a name that you hear of Pillsbury and Hillsdale, but Pillsboro. Mother and father, Charles and Caroline. Died in the late 1879, the mother. The father, 1893. And there is a little woodsman right here. It's kind of set over on its side a little ways by the Whalens. Emmy Whalen died in 1895. Pretty cool. Prospect Hill receiving vault. Now this vault was used, I was reading about this, of course, like in Mountain Home Cemetery, the receiving vault there. In the winter months when you cannot dig graves here in this part of Michigan, this part of the country, the ground is frozen, and so you have to store the bodies over the winter until the ground can be broken in the springtime and the bodies and buried. And so they need to have a place to put those bodies over the winter, and they would store them here in the receiving vault. And then these vaults would this one has a brand new door on it. Certainly wasn't the original door. The original door would have been much heavier than that, that's for sure. But that's the receiving vault here. Looking down through the cemetery. We'll take a little look up here. And then over here there's a beautiful, beautiful figure we'll take a look at a little closer. Be right back. Here's the Kent family crypt. William R. and Cecilia and Nora A. We're going to go back up over here. This is chained as patrolled. We're not a vehicle. Be right back. As you can see, once again, the use of these family plots and the cement walls that go around them all the way up the side here of the hill here at Prospect Hill. Now there used to be something right here. You can tell it stood, possibly an obelisk. I don't know, it's no longer here. I don't know who would have been buried here. Very steep here. Very steep. This would be something for 6 pallbearers to manage. But it can be done. Again, right here. Hailed Adolf and Ella B. He was born in 1846. He was a Mason. Died in 1932. Ella B., born in 1853. She died in 1839. She was a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, let's see if we can dust this off a little bit. There's a little lichen on there. Needs a good cleaning. No problem with that one cleaning. Let's see what's around here. Little walkways and pathways that have been kept. This is Davis. It's very steep. We'll go over here and take a look at the other side. I'll be right back. Mr. Davis was a veteran of the U.S. Civil War. As I get up here, there are more monuments on the top of the hill up here, and I can see other graves at the top of this trail way over here. We're going to go behind us, check out what's back here in the big old pines. Gilbert J. Hudson. He died December 19th, 1881, age 61 years. This would probably also, oh yes it did, you can see where it had bars placed in these 4 holes, and probably it would have like a caged effect with another piece on top and then a finial on top of that, and it's all gone. Yep, I've seen those designs. You can see the base, how it looks like it's flaking away, and it is. It's just the material. Just the material. See the pieces of it laying on the ground around there on the base. Now we're way back in the woods right here. Have one piece right here, one stone right here, 2 stones that are knocked over, probably by fallen trees back here. Could be because somebody had done this, but you can see how that sets in there. And these are we get a good name on this for you. Looks like G.S. Mith, M-I-T-H, or G. Smith. It is. It's G. Smith, S-M-I-T-H. George Smith, born May 30th, 1799. He died September, it's like 18th, 1869. And his wife, Ann Smith. Now, a couple more days and it'll be Mr. Smith's birthday, his earthly birthday. Here are some headstones that were here. They've been broke off. This looks like the Frederick, son of, just can't quite read it. And then this goes all downhill into quite a valley and woods. Robert F. Griffiths. He was a member of the Odd Fellows. He died in 1853. Yes, sir. There's an old one hiding here behind this tree. Look at this one here. This is really something here. Yep. Have a little area here to go down and visit these graves. The Durkees, and there's a path going through the woods and way back up over into there, but I don't see any other graves. I see a little settle right here, a little bench. There is another pathway over there. but I don't know what's over there. Another little family plot, and then this goes down here. We'll be right back. This is the Prater family plot, and this had an obelisk. It's been broken, and there are the pieces right there, possibly by tree fall. You see some trees that have been cut back here. Old cedar tree right there. The Andrews family plot, again broken. Right to the edge of the property, I would assume. And you know what they say about assuming things, right? Oh boy. See? That's right. Proof is in the assumption. Look what's right down here. I'm not going to cross down there. We'll get as close as we can. It's down a very steep embankment. But there is Marianne E. and Lily G. Chadwick. Passed away in 1925, both of them. And two other graves that I cannot read the writing there. These as well have been dislodged. Thomas family plot. Again, I like to straighten things we can. Grand Army of the Republic. Thank you for your service during the Civil War. Now looking down into the newer part of the cemetery. But we're not up on the hill yet. That's where we're going. This also had a finial on top at one time. It is missing. You can see the iron spike that it sat on. Probably a little tulip cup, they call them, or a little bell shape. This is Emery and Susan Briggs. Emery died in 1885, Susan 1908. Beautiful little spot, Briggs family plot right here up on the hill. All right, I'll catch up with you over here by this beautiful monument right there. Be right back. Here's the Stulls family, the Selleck family, again, way up there, two Selleck families here. And we have the Roach family, again, using the cool little terraced embankments. Dr. Frank T., 1834 he passed. Ida E., 1835. Paul, 1926. Eliza J., Carlson Roach, father. Well, isn't this nice, especially this time of day? Of course, in the background, a big cell phone tower way up in the air. That wouldn't have been here back in 1910. Avery and Underhill. Again, a name found in The Lord of the Rings. And the Shermans. Very, very nice. Alright, be right back. Looking way back up into this section of the cemetery, those cement family plot terraces, again very prevalent. This is kind of loamy ground, and it would certainly erode quicker than most. The Harvey family plot next to the McLeods and the Welshes. Davis is up behind them. Burnham's up on the hill. Kind of sounds like we're at Gettysburg almost. This certainly isn't Gettysburg. Edward Harvey. He was a colonel. No, sorry, Company A, 7th Michigan Cavalry. Born in 1845, died in 1916. Well, I'll be darned. And we know who was the leader of the 7th Michigan Cavalry, don't we? That George Armstrong Custer. He was in there. I'm gonna straighten his flag up a little bit. Florence Harvey, his wife. Yep, another hero. Thank you for your service. 7th Cav. Airborne, Air Mobile in Vietnam. That was the first Cav. But they sure blew the same trumpet, wore the same slouch hats. The Chapels. The Deckers. Dr. Harry Pepper, a Mason. Very nice. Haven't seen any Zinkies yet. This tree right here has not only grown very large, but you can see the roots are going right under the walkway. They have forced the wall to break in the growth of this tree. Veterans right here. All the plots over there. Looking straight ahead is downtown Pawpaw off in the distance. Just about a mile as the crow flies. We're going to go up on the top of this hill. Be right back. Well, we're working our way up. B.L. Breed, the Williams, the Stevens. Cut ourselves right up through there. Be right back. Well, we pretty much summited. No Sherpas, just me. Old family obelisk. Very nice. This is the very top of the hill, as it were. I'm gonna go take a look up in there in a second. See what we have here. Right back. Here are the Harrises. Whole family. Here are the Grumps. The Grumps have the high ground here. There may be one, it's a little higher back there, but overlooking the rest of the cemetery on the precipice here, we have the Grumps. This is we'll stand outside of here a second. This is a family circle. You don't see this too often. Headstones are arranged in a circle around the main obelisk. See Peter, who died March 29th, 1874. He's 73 years old. And Christiana, his wife, Christina. They're Freemasons. Here's Daniel Boone, March 29th, 1818, February 15th, 1887. Let me get down here and read this a little closer. I'll be right back. Okay, here's the back side of Daniel Boone's grave, and there's a old headstone face down. Next to it here is a newer marker of Nancy M. Boone, and it's spelled with an E. Okay. So is this one. I just was noticing that a second ago. I was thinking, now, come on, Ed, you've missed something all these years. You know, Fess Parker, he'd be turning over in his grave. You know, so would Ed Ames. Saying, come on, you came up with us, dude. You know how to spell the name. Yep. For a second, I had to think. That's what happens when you're in your upper 60s. And that Prevagen has been doubled on you. I'm not making fun of that. That stuff works. We're going to go up here a second and see what that has to say on our way back down from up in this little area. Be right back. Here we go, another little marker of Sally Thomas, age 23 years. Her cross has been broken. Again, has to be trees. Right here's an old tree that has died. Here's an old marker. Known none but to God. Known but to God. And possibly the records of this cemetery. Thomas Welch, 1797 to 1876, and his wife, the Welch family plot. Here's an interesting obelisk. This was the tallest the Simmons and Van Fosten. Zellman Fosten. A reunited household, the Zellman Fostens. Mary Gooding Van Fosten. They're in Concord, Michigan. This, of course, is looking back down towards the Isaac Van Fosten, 1790-1877, served at Fort Erie in 1812. Wow, thank you for your service. That's really something. You don't find many War of 1812 veterans around their graves unless you really know where to look for them. This is a real hero right here. And what they had to endure with the equipment that they had back in the War of 1812. Yeah, take a little tour of Colonial Mackinac, Michilimackinac, and Mackinac, whatever it's called. The fort up at the Straits, Mackinac City. And you'll learn more about that. Go over to the Feast of St. Joseph that they did hold. I don't know if they still do, in Port Huron, dealing with the 1812 period French and Indian battles. It's really something. There at the fort in Port Huron, the Native Americans gained access to that fort, and they killed all of the soldiers there, and then they roasted them and ate them. That's a fact. And they have the Feast of St. Joseph, they call it, and it's a reenactment. Camps all over right in the area where it happened back in the day. A lot of fun. Another trail going way back up into the woods here. Shall we go have a peek? You never know. I'm not going to go very far. Oh, I'd have to crawl over that bunch of bushes and sticks right there in the background, and then looks like an old quarry there beyond it. I think I'll stay this side of that pile of sticks in the cemetery. All right. So, it is fall. It is fall. Let's see who we have right back here in the top corner. Polly Engel, December 29th, 1826, and she passed away November 29th, 1891. Rest in peace, Polly Engel. You have a really, really quiet spot here. This is a beautiful place to be laid to rest. A little marker here. It's been broken. Big roots going off all these directions coming out from this old pine. All right. Yeah, I'll go down here and say goodbye. Be right back. Here are the steps that lead you right up into the Killefer family plot. We were just way up there in the very top and then in the very back. I'm going to take a look over here on this other side, see if we can find a Zinke. Hang in there, be right back. Here we find Edwin Olof, Michigan. World War I, he was a private, 2nd Training Brigade Air Services. World War I. Hazel, right nearby. Those are newer stones placed here in the older part of the cemetery. Look over here a second. It's the Davies and Miller on the other side, and they have a nice, looks like a golden retriever. Just by its coat. May be wrong about that, but one thing's for sure, it is a retriever. Here are the Millums, Harrisons, Fergusons. Right up here, I believe, right here. Look at that in a second. Here's the Consalis family. Isn't that nice? Samuel and Lucy. Right over here is the Rossons. But this was interesting too. This is CPR So this is C.P. Rawson, Company E.I. Michigan Cavalry, Civil War veteran, for sure. Okay, let's take a little walk up the hill over here. I think I see a Zinke. Now, before we get up to the Zinke monument, we have this is Seth Clement. He was born in February 22nd, 1818, died February 22nd, again, 22nd both times, 1887. He died on his birthday. Well, here's his obelisk, and it's been split. The finials broke off. That was cast on there, or cut on there when it was made. That was not mounted. It broke off separately. But you can see where it was mounted in here on that metal spike. Okay, the spike is still right here in the bottom of the... so this can easily be repaired. I say easily, a couple of days. It's not so far gone that it can't be brought back. I guess is the best way to put that. Here's Zinke right up here. Get a little closer look. Now this is my own opinion and observation from being in many cemeteries. It's also a red-tailed hawk over here. Seen him earlier. I think there was a large tree right here, and this was where the stump had been removed. I think that's what possibly fell and broke these folks' Seth's obelisk right there. I also think that it also had something to do. There's the hawk again flying there. It looks like there's a pair of them up there. Yes, there are. There's a pair. All right. But I believe it also had something to do, and possibly not, this could be snow, ice, and the melting of the ice damage. It gets into the stone and had broke this fascia off. Almost like a mason had taken a chisel and cracked it right off. This is a Zinke. We can see the different symbols of the finger pointed towards heaven and so forth. Saxton. Joseph Saxton died November 1st, 1879, age 79 years, 1 month and 9 days. So this was placed December, probably the next year. This is probably placed sometime in 1880. And I can tell you this much, it has not been cleaned. There is a dent there on the top with a significant crack in it. So this has been hit high by something. And I'm going to say again, tree damage. I'm almost certain of that now after looking at this. You have also the Masonic crown cross. This is Anne. This is Anna, age 97 years, mother of Mrs. Saxton. Yep, and we have a Civil War veteran here, Mr. Saxton. I would presume up here on the high point. We can walk through here and back to the car. Joseph Walter, Company A. Joseph Wather. Wather. It's messed up in there. I think it's Wather. Company A. Provincial Guard, Michigan Infantry. Civil War. Grand Army of the Republic right there. A lot of times you can tell just by the headstones. Very nice. those zinc monuments I mentioned before. They're made out of a zinc alloy. They don't rust, they don't corrode. Biologicals don't build up on them. Animals don't even like them. It's just the resonance, if you will, that comes off from the zinc. It chemically casts away all the things that are bad and hindersome and loathsome to old gravestones and tombstones. This is very nice. Seal Fay, 1817, 1895. Julia. Woodsman of the World log with a cube set in it. As a veteran, and of course, Grand Army of the Republic, Civil War. Okay, go up here to the top of this little hill and back to the car and call it a day over here in Papaw, Michigan. I see another missing finial. People are going to start calling me the missing finial man. I just noticed them. The spike is still there. Okay. The Coy family. All right. Thanks for being with me here today, folks. I sure appreciate it. Get a couple of minutes to watch this rather long video. I appreciate it. I thank all of you for being with me, for watching my humble channel. As I said before, for putting up with me. These are an awful lot of fun to bring to you and get through these cemeteries and take a good look. Never been here before. Glad I took a few minutes today and stopped. And thanks again for watching. Stay tuned. More will be on its way. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.